Hey gang, 7 o'clock. We're gonna start this meeting of July the 20th. Of course, it's an electronic meeting. Remember to keep your commissioners to keep your mute buttons on till you get ready to speak or Angie calls your name. And I'm gonna start with the invocation, and I'm gonna ask Josh Evans to please come up and do the invocation, please, followed by the Pledge of Allegiance.
Let's pray together. Heavenly Father, thank you so much for tonight. Thank you for the opportunity to gather together, and thank you for this group of people that are here to serve this community and to make a difference and try to do what's right for Robertson County. And Heavenly Father, we thank you for their service. We thank you for the decisions that are being made. We ask that you help everyone to make good decisions tonight. Lord, we ask you to be with those in our community that are hurting. We ask you to be with those that are serving us here and abroad. And Heavenly Father, we ask everything we do to honor and glorify you. In your name, amen.
Amen. Pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America,
States of America, and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Josh. Thank you, Daryl.
I'm sorry.
Hey, you're good. You're louder than anybody we had. I appreciate that. Okay, Madam Clerk, we'll call the roll.
Jeff Ayers.
Here.
James Bowen.
Here.
T. Bradley.
Here.
Irvin Brown.
Here.
Bobby Couts.
Here.
Jeff DeWall.
Here.
Michael Bobadores.
Here.
Don Eden.
Here.
Burton Glover.
Here.
Kevin Gray.
Here.
Patsy Gregory.
Present.
Steve Haley.
Here.
Bob Hogan.
Here.
Keith Hoover.
Here.
Tommy Jackson. Tommy Jackson. Bill Moore.
Here.
Stacy Moore. Stacy Moore.
I see a SM up there.
I think she's probably forward, and I just muted her because of the noise.
Okay.
Eric Roberts. Frank Spain.
Here.
Bob Stroud. Faith Stubblefield. Here. Dennis Wade.
Here.
Randy Wilson. Randy Wilson.
He's there. Brent.
Now, under now.
Did y'all get me, Randy Wilson?
Yes, sir. Daryl Woodard.
Thank you.
Present.
I got 22 present, 2 absent.
Okay, 22 present, 2 absent. I declare we have a quorum. Okay, commissioners, in front of you in your package, you have a copy of the minutes of the previous meeting. I'll entertain a motion.
They're both meetings. They were the special one and the.
Oh, gosh, that's right. We did have the special meeting. So you got the minutes of the 2 previous meetings. Hey, I entertain a motion to approve. Got a motion by Commissioner Roberts, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor, say aye.
Is that both minutes?
Yeah. All in favor, say aye.
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 Opposed? Most minutes will be filed. Thank you. Okay, now communications, Mayor. I want to start off, if you will, if you'll make Randy Mullen with the train. He'd like to do an update with the county commission. I'd like to have a motion to make him part of the commission.
So moved.
Got a motion by Hogan.
Second.
Got a second by Hoover. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anyone opposed? Okay, welcome, Mr. Randy. Step up and speak.
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and thank you for your leadership that you provide Robertson County. And thank you again for the opportunity that Trane has to be your energy services provider for your county buildings, and it brings comfort into your buildings. First of all, it's an honor to be here tonight on behalf of the 27 Trane families who live in Robertson County, who pay taxes, who attend your schools, who are community as well. I'd like to thank you for that opportunity too. You're about to see a page. A lot of the commissioners here have a one page in front of them. It's a one page sheet summary of the program and where we stand today. A couple things on this to really point out is your program is doing very well. As you can see, your savings right now on the project, you have exceeded the guaranteed savings by over $100,000 in 4 years' time, excuse me. So you're ahead on the program. Even our first year, we were behind. So our first year, we did write a check to Robertson County to make up that difference. So we provided that for you as well. Also on this sheet, you can see too the environmental impact, if you scroll down a little bit, to show your county and your residents and your taxpayers of your county that you are a sustainable county too. The environmental impact that you had of reducing carbon emissions, taking cars and automobiles off the road, your electric savings, your natural gas savings, and water savings are all right there as well. So what Trane did was we brought some improvements to your buildings, to things like we've done windows in this very building here. But building automation, you can see their lighting technology, HVAC replacements and upgrades that we've done in your buildings, and overall improve the indoor air quality, which is, as we all know, tremendously important today. But the program was a $3.7 million program, all self-funded. It's running ahead of schedule, which is always good for the county. But a couple things I do want to point out. On Joe Fort maintenance team here with the county, there's two individuals I really want to highlight for you. They're doing some great work for you. J.W. Richardson and Chris Hollingsworth. Two of your maintenance technicians on staff have dove into this, have decided they were going to own it, they were going to learn it, and they were going to go through the training, and they've attended more than enough training for it. They're the ones that are owning, operating, and maintaining your buildings at peak levels for you. They look for ways to save energy. They're doing all this. You've got great operations, but you're doing it with increased energy savings as well. Okay? That's all I have right now. Thank you very much. That's an update on the program. As always, if there's anything I can do to help out, you know how to get a hold of me, and I look forward to working with you.
Thank you, Randy. We appreciate this. Check in the mail. Hey, we appreciate the relationship we have with Trane. I do want to echo that was at the meeting with Building Grounds when Trane was sitting here, and JW and Chris had their computers open, and they was showing figures back and forth what each building was doing as we spoke. It was very, very impressive. I was impressed. And I hadn't seen that side of it. We appreciate being with y'all, Randy. Okay, right quick, I want to say that the comptroller letter has come back where our budget has been approved. We did a good budget, and hey, I want to thank department heads and budget committee and Jody and them for their hard work, because we're into another year and don't get to worry about that budget behind us. Okay, right before we stop, in my communications, the education committee had a work planning session with the superintendent of schools last Wednesday. We learned a lot of information. I know the public is wondering a lot about when school's going to open and how's it going to happen. So if you would make Chris a member of the court just for a second, I'd like him to give you some figures and his ideas, what's down the road. Oh, can I get a motion for that to happen, please?
So moved.
Motion by Hogan, second by Commissioner Moore. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Superintendent Causey, you are now in charge.
Good evening. Can you hear me, Mayor?
We hear you good.
Well, good. We, of course, the storm didn't really come through Cedar Hill like we thought it would. So right now it's pretty peaceful, but, you just said I'm in charge, and I'll be the first to tell you, I think we got a virus that's kind of in charge, but, we did have a great session with the education committee, earlier last week. Last week, the Board of Education did vote, as many districts across the state, and especially in Middle Tennessee, on 2 options for our families. Our survey that we sent out a few weeks back, 2 big highlights of that survey said that parents wanted school to reopen. They wanted to do so safely, but they also wanted a virtual offering. So we have both of those. We do have registration that has been started. We sent out a call to our families last week, to every single family in Robertson County, that said, this is how you register and these are your choices. Once you get on there, you can see some of the details. My dad used to say the devil's in the details and church sound systems. But I will tell you that we do have a lot of details to work out. When you talk about in-school options for our kids, the original start date was going to be August the 10th. The board voted to amend that calendar. The first day for any student is August the 12th, and there will be 1/3 of our students that chose the in-school option. Another third will come on the 13th, and then the last third will come on the 14th. And then all of our students who chose the in-school option will return to school
Hey, Superintendent,
on Monday,
we're losing you.
the 17th. That's really to teach all of our, some of the new that include lunches. We're excited. The Cumberland Connect coming out to Cedar Hill and Adams and Orlando. But is that a little bit better?
Storm?
Yes.
Yes.
Okay. But like I said, we do have a staggered start, but we do have some procedures in place. We met with admin today from 8:30 to about 3:30 about talking about what those plans could look like inside the school building. But right now, we are committed to try to opening school on August the 12th for a few of our kids, and then a staggered start, and then everybody will start on the 17th. If you go to our website at www.rcstn.net, you will see a lot of options there and some of the details for both the virtual and the in-school options that our parents have at this point. Other than that, we're just busy working out the details and what that will look like, including transportation and also school nutrition, after-school programs, sports, all of those things, trying to work out with all parties involved.
Has anybody got any questions for the school superintendent? I just want to add that they emphasized if you carry your children to school, please stay till they get the temperatures took. That way, if a child is running a fever, they can put them right back in the car and send them home. Is that right, Superintendent?
Yes, sir. And actually, we are encouraging our families to bring their children if they can, because that does help out that situation quite a bit. But we're also planning on taking temperatures of students before they get on the bus. And we've asked parents to stay at home until that bus pulls away before they take off for work that day, if at all possible. Otherwise, we may be contacting you once you get to work to come pick up your child, because we definitely don't want to leave them on the side of the road or with a younger sibling or anything of that nature.
Okay, has anybody got any questions? Let him go. I know y'all got a lot of work to do, and I don't envy your job a bit, but I know you're going to do what's right and what's best for the health of students of Robertson County. Thank you, Chris.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, with that, we'll move on to our reports. In your packages reports, we'll start with the Highway Committee. Any questions or comments? Animal Control, any questions or comments? Trustees report, any questions or comments? Veteran Services, any questions or comments? The Planning Committee, any questions or comments? The Fire Committee, any questions or comments?
I got a question.
Fire away, Commissioner Wade.
Why is Greenbrier Fire Department not reporting? Anybody on the fire committee?
Well, that's news to me. Elaborate. Who'd you hear this from, Mr. Wade?
I'm looking at the report. There's no report.
Oh, well, if they don't send a report, I can tell you they don't get a check. So I imagine that.
We have not had them report in several months. And I asked I think Mike Doris, I think he's on the fire committee, and I requested him to contact Greenbrier and find out the problem. Because I can go to Greenbrier City Hall and they've got a report. So I think if we're going to give out checks, we need to have reports.
Hey, would you work on that, Commissioner Wade?
Yeah.
All right, find out why we're not getting reports
Hey.
from him.
Hey, Mr. White, Mayor,
Yeah,
I talked to a couple of the commissioners up there, and they said they would address it at the forest at their side at the Greenbrier. Now, they have chosen not to address it right now, so I'm gonna make a motion. If they don't want to address it next month, we hold their check until they start addressing it.
okay, we'll call the fire committee together and get that. We went through that with another fire department years ago, and we got it ironed out.
Yes, sir.
Okay, thank you, Commissioner Wade.
You're welcome.
Appreciate the heads up. Solid waste report. Any questions or comments? Finance committee, any questions or comments? Okay, emergency management, any questions or comments? With that, I need a motion to file the reports. Got a motion, Commissioner Roberts. Second, Commissioner Glover. All in favor, say aye. All opposed? So moved. Item 8, we have our elections and nominations. The chair recognizes Commissioner Stubblefield, Chairman of the Nomination Committee.
Thank you, Mr. Mayor. The nominating committee would like to bring this slate of nominees to the commission. We have the library board, and we'd like to put into nomination Margaret Ann Williams as the county rep, and Jane Ligon is the regional county rep for the library board. We also have the airport board. Mr. Glenn Roberts has resigned from the board, and we are placing Jerry Converse's name in nomination. Because this comes from the nominating committee, we don't have to have a second. Would like to ask if there's any questions or discussion.
Question.
Okay, question being called for. Thank you, Commissioner Stubblefield. All in favor, say aye.
Aye.
Anyone opposed? Okay, those nominations are now in place, and I'd like to recognize Glenn Roberts and thank him for his long time service on the airport board. I don't know how many years, but he's been there a long time. Thank you, Mr. Roberts. All right, we're going to move to the public hearing part of our county commission, which is planning and zoning. At this time, I'm going to turn it over to Doug Van, and if there's anyone downstairs that would like to speak, Bob Hope will tell us with the computer down there. State your name and your address, and we'll give you a few minutes to speak on any zoning issue. Go ahead, Mr. Doug.
The first request tonight is Gina S. Line. She's requesting to rezone 4.5 acres from AG2 to RP80 on South Mount Pleasant Road. This is in the 4th voting district. By a vote of 6-0, the planning commission asks for your approval.
Bob Hope, is anyone present like to speak to that issue?
No, Mayor, there's not.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Doug.
The second is Sarah L. Duke. She's requesting to rezone 1.84 acres from AG2 to RP80. This property is located on Logan Road in the 3rd voting district. And again, by a vote of 6-0, the planning commission asks for your approval.
Mr. Hogue, do you have anyone like to speak on that zoning issue?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay, Mr. Doug.
The third request is Robin L. Kaler requesting to rezone 2.45 acres from AG2 to RP80. This property is located on Dot Road, 8th voting district. Again, by a vote of 6-0, the planning commission asks for your approval.
Mr. Bob Hogue, you got anybody that wants to speak?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay, Mr. Doug.
The fourth request is MBS Investments. They're requesting to rezone 5.00 acres from AG2 to RP80. This property is located on Tennessee Highway 49 East. It's also in the 8th voting district, and again, by a vote of 6-0, the planning commission asks for your approval.
Mr. Hogue, you got anyone that'd like to speak on that issue?
No, Mayor, we do not.
Okay, if I could get a motion to put these four together from agricultural residential to rural preservation. I'll take a motion.
I so move.
I got a motion by Hoover,
Second by Haley.
second by Commissioner Haley. Thank you. All in favor of putting these together, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? So moved. Madam Clerk, you will call the roll.
I need a motion.
Oh.
Second.
Okay, we need a motion to approve these 4 zoning issues. Thank you, Madam Clerk.
I make a motion.
So moved by Haley.
Bill. And a second by who?
Haley.
Haley. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
All opposed? Now we can call roll, Madam Clerk.
Yes, sir.
Jeff Ayers,
Yes.
James Bowen,
Yes.
Stephanie Bradley,
Yes.
Irvin Brown,
Yes.
Bobby Counts,
Yes.
Long, Jeff DeLong,
Yes.
Michael Bubadara,
Yes, ma'am.
Don Eden,
Yes.
Burton Glover,
Yes.
Kevin Gray,
Yes.
Patsy Gregory,
Yes.
Steve Haley,
Yes, ma'am.
Bob Hogan,
Yes.
Keith Hoover,
Yes.
Tommy Jackson, Bill Moore,
Yes.
Stacy Moore, Stacy Moore, Stacy Moore, Eric Roberts,
Yes.
Frank Spain,
Yes.
Bob Stroud, Dave Stubblefield,
Yes.
Dennis Wade,
Yes.
Randy
Yes.
Woodard,
Aye.
Stacy Moore. Got 21 for, 1 abstain.
Okay, we got 21-4 and 1 abstain. I declare those 4 resolution passes. Mr. Dove.
The fifth request is the Lita Beth Lamberth Trust. Their request is to rezone 142.06 acres from AG2 to R40 on Tennessee Highway 76 East. Third voting district, and by a vote of 6-0, the Planning Commission asks for your approval.
Okay, Mr. Hogue, you have anyone downstairs like to speak on this zoning issue?
Mayor, yes, we have 3 people that want to speak. Wendy Harden will be first, Eric Harden will be second, and Casey King will be third.
Okay, bring one of them up. Working you, Brian.
Yes, take it up.
Hey, ma'am, could I ask you to state your name, your address, please?
Wendy Harden, 7245 Highway 76 East, Springfield.
Okay. Thank you for coming tonight. Go ahead, ma'am.
Absolutely, very interested. Where we live now is a beautiful area. There are a lot of animals that we get to enjoy on a regular basis, and a lot of birds and different things that we enjoy. I am hoping that this building in there will not impact that dramatically. I'm also observant of the traffic that is on the road and accidents that happen not too far from our home. Also, the waterways that have been built into our land and how that is flooding from our area. And I am looking for information into the future on how that's going to be addressed.
Okay, thank you, Wendy. Appreciate your comments. Of course, there has to be a plat brought in front of zoning about all the issues you just talked about.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor, Eric Harden has decided not to speak. Next will be Casey King.
Hi.
Hi. Go ahead, Ms. King. Tell me your address.
Sure. Yeah. Again, I'm Casey King. I live at 7411 Highway 76 East. So we live to the east of the property that's in question today. And my concern is really about the infrastructure
Respectfully, I think it would be irresponsible to approve this without the proper infrastructure in place. I feel like we've got a very windy, hilly road in Highway 76 with a 55-mile-an-hour speed limit already that would necessitate at least turning lanes. You've got between that property and the interstate and White House at least 3 intersections that I think would need to have red lights. You've got a school zone that's there. You've got a school that has a middle school and a high school together in one building. I think that there's going to have to be something done about that, particularly because you've got another development directly behind the school that has somewhere between 700 and 1,000 homes coming in there. And so my concern is about the infrastructure that's in place currently and adding additional property for development there. Thank you.
Thank you, Ms. King. Bob, is anyone else?
That's all. That's all we want to speak, Mr. Mayor.
Okay, you tell those folks we're sorry about the conditions of us speaking on COVID-19, about the situation we're in, but thank them for their patience, okay?
Yes, sir, Mayor.
Okay. All right. I need a motion to move this forward. Got a motion by Roberts. Second. All in favor of moving it forward, say aye.
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 Where'd it go, Stacy? Okay, Madam Clerk.
Daryl Woodard,
Aye.
Andy Wilson, Dennis Wade,
Someone mute, please.
Dennis Wade,
No.
Faith Stubblefield,
No.
Stroud, Frank Faith, Stacy Turner.
Did you say Stacy?
Yes, ma'am.
I can't hear. Yes.
Bill Moore,
Yes.
Tommy Jackson, Keith Hoover,
Yes.
Steve Haley,
No.
Patsy Gregory,
No.
Kevin Gray,
No.
Burton Glover,
Yes.
Don Eden,
Yeah.
Parks,
You hear me?
I hear you, but what did you say?
I said no.
Okay, thank you. Jeff DeLong,
Yes.
Bobby Couts,
No.
Irvin Brown,
Yes.
Stephanie Bradley,
Yes.
James Bowens,
Yes.
Jeff Ayers.
Yes.
Thirteen, 4, 9 against.
13-4, 9 against, that passes. Thank you, commissioners. Okay, Mr. Doug, our final number C.
The last request is Mr. John Pitt. He's requesting to rezone 7.18 acres from AG2 to I1 Property is located on 10 Norris Road, 4th voting district, and by a vote of 6-0, the planning commission asks for your approval.
Okay, I need a motion to put this up to vote. Motion by Glover, need a second. Second by Roberts. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Madam Clerk, roll.
Looks like Dennis got a question.
Dennis, you got a question?
You're on mute, Dennis.
I'm sorry, I'm trying to hit the button. Isn't this the same gentleman that for 10 years we held the property and he wouldn't pay his taxes? We finally sold it a few months ago. Isn't he just moving what he was doing on the other property over to this one?
Yes.
I don't know his plans, Commissioner Wade, but I would say that's probably needs a place to park his equipment, yes.
Yeah, well, I'm going to vote no. Just to tell y'all up front, I don't think we ought to reward this guy for not paying payroll taxes the last time. He sat on it for 10 years. That might have been our fault. It might have been his, but it was always his responsibility to pay his taxes. So that's my 2 cents for it.
Anyone else?
I agree, Dennis. I'm with you. For 10 years, and it was a major headache to get him off the property. I totally agree with you.
I agree too, Bobby Couch.
I've got a question, Mayor.
Go ahead.
Did we collect any money from Mr. Pitt on the last go around when we were trying to sell that and then wound up selling it out from under him?
To my knowledge, Commissioner Eden, this went in delinquent the year 2005. There was a lot of rumors about what was on the property, what could be buried on the property, and to be honest with you, everybody was scared to go after it, and I'm not taking any kudos, but I don't pick and choose. I told them, let's go after it. We got it, we sold it, and the money went back into the county.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Mayor. I personally don't see how we could take a chance on him paying his bill when we've got such an experience with him. Thank you.
Hey, this is Irvin. Do we know if he's late on property taxes on this property, or is it paid up?
Mr. Brown, I can't answer that. I would think that he must be okay with this property, or they would have been put with the other.
Do y'all check that?
My way of looking at it, he's already had a history, and I'm not interested in rewarding him by allowing him to move what he didn't pay over to this other piece of property. And I'm not saying he won't pay the taxes from now. I'm not going to.
Mr. Doug Van says that when they do zoning, they do go in front of Chris Strawberry, tax assessor's office first.
I said we will.
They will.
We did not, before we ever issue a permit, obviously we will.
Before they issue a permit, you heard him, that they'll have to check to be sure his taxes are up to date.
He'll have to do a site plan back before the planning commission anyway.
And I understand that, but as I've said, I'm not going to vote to reward this guy for being a poor taxpayer and allowing him to move his business across the street, which I don't have any doubt. He's current on this one, but it took us a long time to get the access to the property to sell it. And there's a lot of years. Luckily, the action we took, we were able to get a price for it that helped us out a lot towards paying those property taxes. So,
I agree with Commissioner Wade.
Ma'am?
I was just saying I agree with Commissioner Wade. He's right.
Calling for question. Let's vote.
Commissioner Stubblefield?
My personal opinion is the county taxes were paid on this piece of property when we sold it, but Mr. Pitt didn't pay them. And it was somewhere in the ballpark of about $90,000.
Right.
And so he did not pay those taxes.
No, he did not.
They got paid.
They got paid, yeah.
But he didn't pay them. So if he didn't pay those, why do we expect him to pay taxes on those other fees?
Let me point out that the reason we got more than what it was worth because of location, that don't happen with a lot of delinquent tax property.
Yeah.
So we came out, the county came out good and got it put back on the map. But, if nobody brings up a question, I want to call a question from y'all and let's vote on this.
Questions?
Question being called. Yeah.
There may be some new commissioners on here that doesn't know about this piece of property down at Millersville and some of the things going on. We might have heard about it, but they may be trying to make a decision and not knowing what we've gone through in the past.
Well, I think we're telling them, aren't we?
Same commission that voted him from the delinquent tax committee to sell it. I think everybody ought to know about it. This is the one that I questioned. Millersville came in wanting to buy it for a song.
Now, they didn't, I don't think that the man that purchased the property paid the Millersville taxes, so he was.
It's when property brought up like it, the county gets their tax and it's up to the city to go after their part.
Right.
Now, I don't know how Millersville came out of that on their part of it, but they thought we were supposed to collect theirs too, and that's not our job. That's their job to collect their taxes.
Question.
Question being called. Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Yes, sir. Steve Haley,
No, ma'am.
Bob Hogan,
No.
Keith Hoover,
No.
Tommy Jackson, Bill,
No.
Stacy Mark,
No.
Eric Roberts, Frank Thane,
No.
Bob Stroud, Stacy,
No.
Dennis Wade.
Still call my name?
Yes, sir.
No.
Ray,
No.
Daryl Woodard,
No.
Jeff Ayers,
No.
James Bowens,
No.
Stephanie Bradley,
No.
Irvin Fair,
No.
Bobby Couts,
No.
Jeff DeLong,
No.
Michael Bubba Doris,
No, ma'am.
Don Eden,
No.
Burton Glover,
No.
Kevin Gray,
No.
Patsy Gregory.
No.
22 against.
0-4, 22 against. I declare that zoning issue did fail. Okay, we'll move on to item 10. It's our resolutions part of it, and we're coming from the Budget Committee. The chair recognizes Budget Chairman Keith Hoover.
Mayor, Madam Clerk, fellow commissioners, I've got total of 10. I've got 9 resolutions. We've got a total of 10. I recommend voting all on one time.
Stephanie Bradley, I object.
Stephanie, are you wanting to remove resolution number 7, which is 07202000082, the $1.2 million from the schools?
I am.
All right. Well, I will amend my motion to remove that resolution from our packet and vote on those 9 together. We'll vote on that one separate.
I second that.
All right, I got a motion by Hoover and a second by Haley that we discuss 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6 and leave item 7 out. Any questions?
Question.
All right, question being called. All in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Okay, go ahead.
Resolution number 072020076. I so move. If I can get a second, we'll discuss.
Second. Got a second by Commissioner Glover.
This was left out in our budget. This was a pay raise, state mandated for General Sessions Court judge. He didn't send it to us, so we didn't know about it, and we're just having to fix it. $3,515. Any questions or comments?
Hearing none. Commissioner Hoover.
Resolution number 072020077. I so move. If I can get a second, we'll discuss.
Second, Bobby Couch.
All right, second by Bobby Castle.
This is from the Sheriff's Department. This employee did not take time off. He performed extra cleaning duties in the jail. I think he runs his anti-litter campaign, driving the van. He put him in the jail to work. This guy was due a raise, didn't get it, so He's writing that wrong. Any questions or comments?
Okay, Commissioner Hoover.
Resolution number 072-020-078. I so move. I'll get a second. We'll discuss.
Second by Commissioner Roberts.
When we jumped in and looking at specifically EMS, we started comparing other counties, and other counties had their employee insurance as a line item in those budgets. Robertson County did not. We had it in one line item at the back of the budget book. We're going around, we're going to fix this tonight by putting all this employee insurance will be a line item in their budgets. Any questions or comments?
I got a question. So this is strictly bookkeeping, correct, Commissioner
Yes,
Hoover?
sir. Yes, sir, Commissioner Haley.
Anybody else got a question? We're just getting it in the right spot. Go ahead.
Resolution number 072-020-079. I so move. When we get a second, we'll discuss.
Second by Commissioner Roberts.
This is the same as that last resolution I just read. This is solid waste employees' expense for their medical insurance. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, resolution number 072-020-080. I so move. We'll get a second, we'll discuss.
Second, Bobby Couch.
Second by Bobby Couch.
This is moving the employee insurance for the highway department. Any questions or comments? Seeing none, resolution number 072-020-081. I so move. If I can get a second, we'll discuss.
Second.
Got a second by Commissioner Glover.
These were funds from the highway department that was not spent during the fiscal year 2019-2020. The highway commissioners get allocation of money. When COVID hit, they were not able to get out and do some paving, so he's letting them carry this money over. So we're just moving this money over into his budget. This will be a two reading resolution. We'll have this again next month.
Okay. Any questions?
Do we need to suspend the rules and do it again tonight, Commissioner Hoover?
I don't think it's that dire need. I think we're okay not to do it. We can do it if y'all want. I think we should not suspend the rules and just.
First,
let's just.
I kind of agree. Since it is the road money, not general fund, maybe we thank Commissioner Haley for coming up with that, but we probably need to stick with it, just doing a double vote on general fund stuff only. This is the highway fund.
Correct.
Yeah.
Sounds good. Sounds good. Just asking.
Okay.
My next resolution is one I'm pulling to the side. That's number 7. So I'm going to move on to resolution number 072-020-083. If I can get a second, we'll discuss.
Got a second, Commissioner Glover.
This resolution is to declare surplus property and authorize a sale of 4676 Highway 41 North in Springfield, Tennessee, formerly known as the TSC building.
Any questions or comments on that?
Seeing none, resolution number 072-020-084. I so move. I can get a second. We'll discuss.
Second.
I got a second, Commissioner Stubblefield.
This resolution is to authorize the county mayor to execute a new E911 interlocal dispatch agreement. Any questions or comments?
Any questions on that?
You want Commissioner Moore to go ahead and read his and then we vote on all of them at one time?
That suits me, because his is surplus property. Commissioner Moore, would you like to bring one from the schools while we're at it?
Mr. Mayor, Madam Clerk, fellow commissioners, I bring you resolution number 072-020-085. Can I have a second? Second. All right, this is surplus property that's been used by the school nutrition department.
Okay, any questions, comment on the surplus coming from the nutrition budget schools? If not, Madam Clerk, you can call the roll on, listen, let me clarify, we're doing 1 through 6 and then jumping from 8 through 10, just for save Madam Clerk from having to call roll so many times. Madam Clerk?
Yes, sir. Patsy Gregory.
Yes.
Kevin Gray.
Yes.
Burton Glover.
Yes.
Don Eden. Don Eden.
Yes.
Michael Bobadaris,
Yes, ma'am.
Jeff DeLong,
Yes.
Bobby Couch,
Yes.
Irvin Brown,
Yes.
Stephanie Bradley,
Yes.
James Bowens,
Yes.
Jeff Ayers,
Yes.
Daryl Woodard,
Aye.
Randy Wilson,
Yes.
Dennis Wade,
Yes.
Faye Stubble,
Yes.
Bob Stroud,
Yes.
Eric Roberts,
Yes.
Stacy Moore,
Yes.
Bill Moore, Tommy Jack, Keith Hoover, Bob Hogan,
Yes.
Steve Haley.
Yes, ma'am.
2-4.
I got 22-4, but 2 absent, 0 against. I declare them resolution passes. From the mayor, there's one of them in there that I think y'all a whole bunch about, and I'm not the only one either. That's been 2 years coming. Okay, Commissioner Hoover.
Resolution number 072-020-082. I so move. If I can get a second, we'll discuss.
Second.
Got a second, Commissioner Hogan.
This is
I
money.
like to table that.
Oh.
Sorry, go ahead.
I think the motion to table cuts off.
Is she making a motion to table?
She made a motion to table.
Are you making a motion to table, Commissioner Bradley?
Yes, I am.
Mr. Chairman, I second that motion.
Got a second. No discussion.
No.
Don't vote.
I'll bring some money from school.
All roll, Madam Clerk.
Jeff Ayers, Jeff Ayers,
Yes.
James Bowens,
No.
Stephanie Bradley,
Yes.
Irvin Brown,
No.
Bobby Couch,
Yes.
Jeff DeLong,
Yes.
Michael Bobadaris,
Yes.
Don Eden,
No.
Bert Glover,
No.
Kevin Gray,
No.
Patsy Gregory,
No.
Steve Haley,
No, ma'am.
Bob Hogan,
Yes.
Keith Hoover,
Yes.
Tommy Jackson, Bill Moore,
No.
Stacy Moore,
No.
Eric Roberts, Frank Payne,
No.
Bob Stroud, Faye Stubblefield,
Yes.
Dennis Wade,
I'm unmuted. I'm just trying to figure out why we're even, I didn't know that's a problem, but I'll vote no.
Randy Wilson,
No.
Daryl Woodard.
Yes. Yes.
Great. Thank you, Commissioner Woodard.
9 yes, 13 no's.
Okay, we got 9 yes, 13 no's. I declare that resolution is tabled.
No, not
No,
tabled.
sir.
Not tabled.
Not tabled?
No.
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 Oh, okay. That's right. Excuse me, I'm backwards. Okay. All right, now the resolution's back up.
Well, it should be.
Well, I guess, well, okay.
This is moving from 76100 dash 799. We're moving it into 34655 BH VAC. It's what we know is committed for Branchford Elementary, the contract with ESG. I think there were some questions that come up about that some thought got answered, some didn't. There was some new development today from what I understand. And so we sit here with this budget amendment here.
Mr. Chairman, what's the discussion that came up today?
I'm going to let Stephanie Bradley discuss that if that's okay.
You fine?
Well, I spoke to some folks today that there is some discrepancies in the bid and how we're not doing apples to apples. And if we're not placing the bid appropriately, then it can't be enforced. And we're also looking at miscommunication from some people to the Trane Energy people who are guaranteeing us a check back for their product, and we're going with a person who's never been here and sold some textbooks about 10 years ago, and I don't understand why we're not looking further into this. I think we're shortchanging Bransford on what we promised them, and I think that's unfair.
Has the county attorney weighed in on this?
The county attorney has weighed in on this.
County attorney has been involved in this for about a month.
And it's my understanding that Dr. Causey has signed a contract with ESG, and there's nothing that can be done about it. That was his opinion.
Okay. Mr. Chairman, was it announced to us that the bid from Trane was $85,000 difference? And I've heard the figure like 1,190,000, and then Trane was 85,000 above that, and then I heard figures of Trane bid 1.6. But I'm understanding that the windows and other things were added because Trane actually bid their figures in October of last year. And then some officials took it to this company and says, can you beat this? And that was done in May.
I was made aware of that today. First I've heard of it. Yes.
I'd just like to know if that's true.
Well, we can make Dr. Causey a member of this body.
Also move, Commissioner Hoover, that we make Dr. Causey a member of the body.
Second by Brother Woodard.
All in favor of making Dr. Causey a member of this body, say aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Dr. Causey, welcome back.
Good evening, everyone. It is my pleasure to talk to you all about this project because I never want to be not transparent to what we have done. First of all, please know that this contract is an energy savings contract, just like we signed with Trane just a few years back. And we didn't bid that contract out either because Clyde will tell you that when it comes to energy savings contracts, that's not necessarily a biddable contract. Now, with that being said, I do want to let everyone know that when Trane did approach us, and I'm not going to speak a whole lot because I understand that I think Trane is there with you. So I don't think it's real fair to talk about a whole lot when only one of the companies is present. I hope you all understand that. But I do want to say that when approached to Trane about the project, originally with the big energy grade audit that we did throughout the district, that when you added both the HVAC and the windows, it was quite a bit more money than what we would have had to pay for it, because we were originally looking at some funds, hopefully left over from the Cooperstown project. But of course, $1 million is not something that we just have laying around in the school system, if you understand. So when we found out that there was going to be the 1.6, and then that was the original audit, and then we came down and learned that's 1.29, 1.3. Commissioner Hogan, I think you were correct with the $85,000 more. I did. We shopped it out because that's taxpayer money, and we believe in getting the best deal for that money. And there was a company that had another idea that said you have a brand new roof and you don't want to necessarily put those huge units on that brand new roof, especially when we weren't even aware if that roof would hold those brand new units. I remember the commissioners understand when we went back and did the units at Joe Burns High School gym, we had to put these huge steel beams to reinforce the coach's ceiling so that those units would not land in somebody's lap. So the idea was to put pad units, which are individual classroom units, which heat and air the classrooms, as good as the original idea. And that's also what we have on the other side of the building if you go to the Family Resource Center. So we're actually going to stay uniform throughout that entire building. With the funds that we were saving with that idea, then Springfield Glass was approached about doing the windows as well. So that total project was going to end up being less than the train proposal, and we were getting windows, which if you look at West Side and some of our other schools that we put brand new windows in, you will see how good they look. And that was all Springfield Glass. So yes, there have been a lot of different, I guess, misnomers out there that were put out there that is not correct. At no point did we not ever consider Springfield Glass. We've used them a lot. Not ever did we never want to go with train. We just found what was going to work for Bransford at a much less expensive idea, and it was going to provide the same heat and air and cooling that we needed for those kiddos, including the brand new windows. The teachers are excited. Mr. Barbie was excited up to the point that he retired, but he's still excited. And honestly, we're ready to move on.
Dr. Causey, did your school board approve this?
Yes, sir.
Thank you.
And so did the budget committee.
Dr. Causey, in these hallways, it's been reported that that and blank spaces or empty rooms were not going to be heated in the initial phase.
Commissioner Hogan, we met, our engineer, Trey Fan, met with the company and their engineers and architects last week. We had a very good meeting, and the only space that I heard was not going to be heated and aired was that very front commons area that we don't do that in any of our schools because there's too much doors opening and closing. So the gym's already done. The other side of the building's already done. And we're just talking about pressurization, things that I don't understand. But I've been told that those kids are not going to get hot or cold in the hallway or any other space that this company's in charge of putting heat and air in.
Dr. Causey, you had trains bid in October of last year.
Correct.
It reported that you took that bid to this other company. Can you beat this? Is that correct?
Well, and just not them. You have to remember, we're part of the Tennessee Organization of School Superintendents, and they have quite a few partners out there because I only meet with folks that have been vetted across the state or across the nation. It's not just some backwoods company that nobody knows about. So, just like any other situation, if you get a bad price on the car, you put it out there to see who can beat it.
But did you go with them with this contract? You kind of beat around the bush there. Did you make that initial act by saying, hey, can you beat this with that company?
Yeah, and a couple others. Yes, sir.
Okay. And they're the only ones that answered the bid, right?
Yeah, that's the only one that said, hey, we've got another idea, which had not been presented up to that point.
You mentioned also that the contract's difference with the windows, including Springfield Glass.
Yes.
Was how much less compared to train? You just said it was much less. How much less?
How much less without the windows?
Comparing the apples to apples. You said you got a better deal with other companies.
Commissioner, I don't have that in front of me. I apologize, sir. I was not expecting to answer this question this evening.
Well, we know about the $85,000. I just thought that you would know that. But I'm sorry.
Not off the top of the head. I know that we were probably looking at about $300,000 for windows at some point, but that's been a long time ago, sir.
This is Stephanie Bradley. I think we should relook at this for a moment and have another look.
I don't know. I've reached out to our county attorney. The contract's been signed. I don't know if there's anything that can be done at this point. I think we're just chasing our tail here.
Now, Dr. Causey, I am under the impression that this is an energy contract that you say?
Yes, sir.
And with this other company as well as Train?
Yes, sir.
They're
That's my understanding as well, yes, sir.
guaranteeing us so many dollars. It was somewhere a little above $5,000, right?
I'd have to pull it out, but yes, sir.
Let's say it was $5,000, the train was 13,000. Those are the
Okay.
those are the figures I remember. Like 5,500 compared to 13,100 or something. Is that the difference? And this company is going to guarantee us that $5,000?
I'd have to go back and look at it, but I do believe that there was some kind of savings that was in the contract. I don't remember if it was guaranteed or if it was projected. I'll have to go back and look at it, sir.
What I can remember, just information, is that was not guaranteed. It was suggested, and Train was putting a guarantee on it. I just want to know if that was, or am I thinking
Commissioner
wrong?
Hogan, ESG guaranteeing anything.
That's the way I understand.
From what I read the contract, there's no guarantee to ESG.
And Train is guaranteed, right?
That is correct, sir, yes.
Okay.
Dennis
Just
has
wanna
got a
make
question
sure.
there.
Commissioner Wade?
Can I talk?
Yeah.
Okay. A while ago, I didn't know enough about what's going on. I don't think I can't feel comfortable voting for this. If that means you want to table it and let's get more information, get it. I do agree. We sign a contract, we commit ourselves. But did he have the authority to sign a contract if he didn't have it in his budget? I'm just being blunt. Did he have the authority to do that?
Dennis, at one point, he had some money left over from last year's budget. We moved over into a line item for this project.
Okay.
But at that time, we didn't know who the contract was going to.
It sounds like to me that we're getting into a mess that we'll be fighting down the road. So whatever y'all
Somebody feel better? Hey, let me just say that about 2 or 3 weeks ago, Clyde sent me emails. He had checked in. He thinks the contract's done been signed. The school board's done signed off on it. That he thinks it's like it's done gone.
So is the rubber stamp then, Mayor?
Why do they still need our approval? What in the world is our approval doing?
We're moving one line up to the other is all we're doing.
We're just moving money.
I'm just making sure everybody knows. And
That's all it's putting that money that we voted on last month for the Bransford job.
But if we don't move the money, can it be properly used?
Deserve. If I can speak. I have the utmost confidence in Mr. Causey's judgment and the school board's judgment on this issue. I think if it's been vetted out by the attorney, then to banter or delay and fuss among ourselves is going to be fruitless. And I would vote to proceed with this if a vote's called.
I agree.
Can I just say, as a member of the education committee, which I was just put on a couple of years ago, after 2 years of getting in council maybe once a month, and just becoming aware of this once in the last literally 14 hours, I'm telling you that I'm not sure what's going on, and I'm a member of that committee. So vote your conscience, but I'm telling you, I'm not sure what's going on. So.
Mayor, are we in breach of a contract if we don't pass this?
All I can tell you, Commissioner Haley, is what the county attorney told me. He thought the contract had done been signed. The school board voted off on it. And, what can I say?
Hey, Mayor Vogel.
Yes.
This Commissioner Moore. At this point, it's a mute subject because it has been signed and there's nothing we can do except fund it.
I have to agree with you. No, we done said money for
Mr. Mayor.
Yeah. Mayor, can I speak, sir?
Go ahead, Superintendent.
I can promise the commissioners and everyone that's listening, and I understand, I will take full responsibility for not getting our county engineer on this as quickly as I should have. I will take that full responsibility. However, I am not going to commit taxpayer money to a project that is not worthy of the students and the teachers of Brainsford Elementary. I'm not going to do it. It's not going to cost us more than $1.2 million. And we're getting more for the money that we've been tasked to use. And with that being said, we had a great meeting with Trey last week. And I think he may be on this call. I'm not sure, but he has a set copy of the plans, and he's going to be walking through that project step by step to make sure that those kids get what they deserve. And I'm going to tell you, the company's committed to do so. And there's enough room on the playground for more than one person. And if the taxpayers of Robertson County benefit for it, and the students of Robertson County benefit for it, who am I to say no? Thank you.
Our question's been called for.
Ready to vote?
Ready to vote. Go ahead, Mr. Woodard.
I just want to make a comment before we do vote. We're seeing like we have a difference of, not opinion, but a difference of information. We're getting at the last minute. But if it's all possible that we can do the best we can for the children of Brantford School, because that school has been needing air conditioning and stuff for many years. And what it's all about is what's best for the school system and what's best for our children. So we'll vote our conscience, and if we don't run into any legal problem, I think we need to do what's right for the kids.
Well said.
Let's vote.
Madam Clerk, call the roll.
Darrell Woodard,
Yes.
Bertie Wilson,
Yes.
Dennis Wade,
Yes.
Stacy Hill,
Yes.
Bob Stroud, Frank Spain,
Yes.
Eric Roberts,
Yes.
Stacy Moore,
Yes.
Bill Moore, Tommy Jackson, Keith Hoover,
Yes.
Bob Hogan,
Yes.
Steve Haley,
Yes, ma'am.
Patsy Gregory,
Yes.
Kevin Gray,
Yes.
Burton Glover,
Yes.
Don Eden,
Yes.
Michael Bubba Doris,
Yes, ma'am.
Jeff DeLong,
Yes.
Bobby Couch,
Yes.
Irvin Brown,
Yes.
Steph Bradley,
Abstain.
James Bowens,
Yes.
Jeff Ayers.
Yes.
21-4, 1 abstain.
Okay, with 21-4, one abstaining, I declare resolution passes. Thank you, Commissioner Hoover. Okay, is there any old business to bring up for the commission? Hearing none, is there any new business? Hearing none there. Mr. Bowens, would you do our no republic, sir?
Voga, I make a motion to elect the notice of Robertson County in the state of Tennessee.
Got a second? Commissioner Roberts, all in favor say aye.
Aye.
None opposed? So moved. Bubba Doris, you still sitting in that truck, you want to make a motion to adjourn?
I'm gonna make a motion to adjourn, sir.
All right, so moved.